Afternoon everybody, Tony from Coral Passion explaining auto top-ups and why they're important. I'll probably get asked about auto top-ups and have to do this same song and dance talk, I'd say probably weekly or sometimes a few times a week. So I thought it would be an interesting exercise to produce a little YouTube video and detail some of the reasons why it's important to have an auto top-up. Now, some people think it's just about keeping your salinity stable. Some customers will say, but I top up every day. I top up manually every day. It's even more worrying, some of the customers say I'll top up once a week. But what you're doing with an auto top up is you're keeping that salinity very stable. But it's not just the salinity that you're keeping stable. All the animals that we keep in a reef tank like stable conditions, particularly SPS. So small polyp stony corals require very consistent, very stable reef conditions day in, day out. Otherwise they won't do well. They'll be like cut flowers, they'll slowly deteriorate. And an auto top-up is absolutely essential. So before you go and buy another frag for 10 or 20 pounds down at your local fish shop, if you've not got an auto top-up yet, I'd strongly recommend you consider getting one, and I'll detail some of the many reasons why you need it and what makes it so important and how your reef tank will benefit from having one. Now, a reef tank, it's not just about keeping the salt stable or anything else that's sort of one thing. If you have one element of it go out of bonk, it can often have a knock-on effect. And an auto top-up is very much one of those bits of kit where if you don't have that, you're really going to be short-changing your results. So let's imagine that someone's topping up once a day. This shelf behind me, we're going to pretend that that's a flat line on a graph. Now, a reef tank, we want to have everything nice and uniform. We want the temperature to be stable. We want the pattern of lighting to come on and off at the same time every day. We don't want variances in that. Salinity, we want to be stable and have a consistent flat line to it. But I'll tell you what happens when you don't have a stable salinity. And when you top up manually once a day, you're going to be you top up, your salinity drops, and then it slowly rises, and then once a day you top up again, so your salinity crashes back down, and then slowly rises again. But it's not just the salt value that you're destabilising. All the mineral content in the water you're allowing to become more concentrated, and then when you top up, it crashes back down. So that's all your trace elements, your alkalinity, your calcium, your magnesium. So all of these things need to be kept nice and stable, day in, day out, 24 hours a day. And an auto top-up will top up multiple times a day to give you that flat line across the graph, if you like, on how your tank runs. Now, as well as having the chemical elements that we can measure being kept stable with an auto top-up, you've got bacteria in a reef tank, which is essential to having a stable environment. And without stable bacteria levels, again, that has knock-on effects. You may have different pH levels if bacteria colonies are continuously growing or shrinking. And bacteria will continuously change to the environment and what's available for it. So, for example, just a very crude example of how bacteria will grow and shrink. If you put a little bit of meat down on the floor, or a dead mouse, or whatever it is, the bacteria will grow, and as the material decomposes, it's going to shrink down. Now, with a reef tank, when you're getting your salinity that gets more and more concentrated, and then crashes down when you top up manually once a day, again, you've got bacteria colonies that are growing and shrinking, growing and shrinking. So again, that causes further instability in a reef tank. There are some of the main reasons why an auto top-up is so important. Now, you can go onto coralpassion.co.uk. We have a range of auto top-ups where you can buy them online, or you can walk into the store and pick them up off the shelf. I'd advise against getting cheap auto top-ups. I think, to be honest, one of the facts is the auto top-ups that are selling for under £50, you hear a lot of reports of those failing, being problematic, either not topping up or dumping a load of water into the tanks. That's at least the feedback I get from my customers. And if you go online to the forums or the Facebook groups, you'll probably see a similar pattern as well. So don't underinvest and get a bit of equipment that's no good. I'd say you want to invest in something of reasonable quality. Tons and Reef Float have got a very good reputation as far as top-ups go, but there's certainly many other brands that are very good also, and they're worth considering. But that's it about auto top-ups, why they're important. There's some of the reasons why you want to consider that. If you've got any comments or ideas, put them in the suggestion box, in the comments box down on the YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching.